Figure maybe have a chat while I'm driving. There we go. You can see me a little better there. And it's yellow light, so I'll stop. Okay. Alright, so a couple things. One, talking about yellow lights, okay? I was thinking about this as I was driving. There's red light, green light, and yellow light. So when you have conversations with your kids in the past, let's say, what were the green light topics? What seemed to be okay to talk about? Think about those. And if you get the chance to talk to your kids again, or comment with them, or email, or text, or whatever, try to remember what those green light topics were. And then the yellow light topics. What were things that kind of started poking at them? You know, maybe you teased them, or maybe there were things that they had certain beliefs about that you weren't so, you know, you didn't really agree on. And they weren't full-blown arguments. Excuse me, goodness. But they were yellow light topics. Yellow light, where maybe you could start feeling your heart going a little faster. Maybe they would kind of change the subject. Maybe they would kind of walk away a little bit to avoid getting into some big conflict. Think of those yellow light conversations and topics and really work hard on avoiding them. Okay? So we're going to focus on the green light topics. What are okay to talk about? What are okay to share about? What things can you agree on? What kinds of hobbies or interests you agree on? Are you both, in my case, I'm in Detroit, so are you both Lions fans? Maybe that's what you bond about. Are you both dog lovers? Maybe that's what you talk about. That's what you reach out about. You know, maybe you see a funny meme about something that you have in common. And maybe you just send them this little funny meme about that particular topic that you know is a green light topic. And then the red light topics. Red light topics with the adult kids is anything to do with their lives in general. Like, it's, you don't ask about their jobs. And you'll listen if they talk about them. You don't ask about their jobs. You don't ask about the living situations. You don't ever ask about their finances. You don't even ask about their health. Those are all like red light topics. Another red light topic would be politics or religion, or have you talked to your brother lately, or gossip. Anything like that is a red light topic. Don't bring it up. Don't do it. So there's a thing we've been talking about this week about in my Bible study group, where somebody mentioned about practicing the pause. So if you have the opportunity to interact with your estranged child, if the opportunity presents itself, and they make a comment that maybe is a yellow or a red light topic with you, because they know it's like that. They know they can get mom to react a certain way. They know they can get dad to react a certain way if they bring up this topic. That's when you take a deep breath before responding. A deep breath and count to 5 or 10, whatever it takes. And you decide, excuse me, in that pause moment, whether you're going to respond or not, because you don't have to. They can bring up a yellow light topic, they can bring up a red light topic, and you don't have to respond at all. And your silence is really the response. And if you can practice the pause often, before you start interacting with your estranged child. You can practice it with your spouse or your partner. You can practice it with your friend or your neighbor or a relative that is not estranged. You can practice it with coworkers or with your boss, where they will say something. And, you know, and the people who love you, they generally are not going to bring up topics or make comments that they know are going to piss you off. But you can still practice that. If you hear something from them and you're just like, rah, 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 normally, that's a good time to practice the pause. You can also practice listening without thinking about and your mind racing about what you're going to say next. You can practice focusing on whatever that person is saying. And again, do it with all these people that love you and that you get along with. Practice it there. Practice these good habits. Develop these good habits with these people that love you and that you love and you get along with. And then kind of move into the people, maybe the coworker that kind of irks you a little bit, or the stepkid that keeps getting under your craw. You're not my mom, you're not my dad, whatever it might be. The toddler who's throwing a tantrum, whatever it might be. So practice it first with the easy people, and then go into the more difficult people, and see how you do. Use this time that your estranged child is not, having a relationship with you currently, a direct relationship with you currently. Use this time to practice the pause and to listen carefully and see if you can use your ears. You got 2 of them, more than you do your mouth. See what happens. See what happens. And practice those skills so when you have the opportunity to relate again directly with your estranged child, you're good at that. So practicing the pause is not allowing those triggers to get you set off and set you off into a spin, into emotion, into a whatever. And listening more than you speak practices focusing on another person. And a lot of times, the estranged kids, they like I said, they know how to set you off. They've done it in the past, and they know what your triggers are. And sometimes, to feel in control, they're going to make this turn. I did. They're going to say the phrases or bring up topics that they know, and they might even like, hey, watch this, with their partner or with their their significant other. They might even say, like, elbow them and say, hey, watch this. Watch me get my dad going. Watch me get my mom going. And they will deliberately pick a topic that they know you're going to get nuts about. And it will be very surprising to them and to their partner or their friend or significant other or whoever it is that they're with or they're reporting back to. It will be very interesting to them how you don't respond back, how you normally did. So those are 2 things right there that I was thinking about. So red light, yellow light, green light. Oh, I can't turn left there. That's no good. Can I turn left up there? That's dumb. See? I don't even like rules. But these are not rules. These are just suggestions. These are suggestions on how to use this waiting time, because that's what it is. It's waiting time. You are waiting. You are waiting for yourself to grow. You are waiting for them to grow. We're all growing in the process. The time is just passing right now. And then, so those were 2 things. And the third one is, great. I'm just driving around in random circles here. The third one is that the times have changed a lot. The times have changed a whole lot. So somebody posted a video called, they recommended it through Netflix, and it was called The Price of Family. And it was a really interesting, cute little video. It's supposed to be humorous. It's supposed to be like, not a satire, but kind of like a satire. It's kind of campy, you know, where it's obvious humor or whatever. And first it showed that the adults that don't, you know, they're ignoring their parents. They're not coming home for Christmas. They're not taking the calls, whatever. But then it showed the parents manipulating them with a trick on them to get them to do something. Don't do that. Don't be manipulative. Do not try to trick someone. Do not try to guilt someone into doing anything. Practice that also with the people who love you and that you enjoyed their time, and then try it with the people that you're not in love with as much. Do not manipulate. Do not try to guilt trip. We used to be able to do that in the old days, and we were raised. I know I was raised with a mom that was really good at guilt tripping, and it worked. And she would guilt trip me, and it would work. And she'd do it again and again and again and again, and it worked all the time. It doesn't work now. So one, it's manipulative if you try to guilt someone to force them to do something, to make changes in them. It's different if you influence them by good behaviors, by being kind, by listening, by taking an interest in them and things like that. That's good behaviors. That's different. But saying, oh, you don't care about my health, and oh, you don't care about my feelings, and oh, blah 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 blah, that's manipulative. Don't do that. Don't do it. One, it's not healthy, and two, it won't work anymore, because the kids these days, the young adults these days, they don't respond to that unless you're in a culture that is very tight-knit, closed kind of culture. And I was thinking like of I saw a movie called Feast of the Seven Fishes, something like that, and it was about Italians, and they were very, very close. And I could see where, you know, the grandpa, he would say to you, what are you thinking? You're not talking to your mother. I could see that might work, because that's pressure in communities that are normally pretty tight. So when somebody gets, estranges from everybody else, it's not accepted usually, and they usually can apply pressure to get that person back into the family fold again. But it doesn't work now. It does not work. Does not work. And it will draw them further away from you. It will not draw them closer to you. It will draw them further away from you. So if you're somebody who's had that habit, because that's like, there we go. If that has been your habit to try to guilt them into something, well, don't you care about your little brother? Oh, the dog misses you, or things like that. After all I've done for you, if that is your habit, try to stop with your estranged child. Stop. And then notice in your circle of people you loved and that love you, notice if that's what you do with them as well. And if so, practice with them. Again, practice with them while you wait for your estranged child to figure out whatever it is they got to figure it out. So in the old days it worked. It doesn't work now. We have a different type of culture now. It's very much a different culture. You know that. And I never want to tell you things that are not going to be helpful as far as like results go. I don't want to say, well, try and write them a letter. We'll send them another text. Things like that. Hold on just 1 minute. Got it back in to this parking spot. Yes, I'm one of those backer-uppers, because this parking lot gets full of children, and I do not want to run them over backing out of a spot. There we go. That's good. All right. So anyway, so red light, yellow light, green light with the topics. And I forgot the second point that I had. And then the third point is don't try very hard to monitor how much guilt, manipulation, etc. that you put on your estranged child, because it doesn't work. It doesn't work. And you want to know what things work. So, and then the last part is consider so our brain, I've said this before, our brain only wants to protect us. It loves us. It only wants to protect us. So consider how many times that you text them in a day, in a week, in a month. How many times you email them in a day, in a week, in a month. See if this week, this is hump day, so see if from this hump day Wednesday, they call it hump day because it's in the middle of the week, and then it's all downhill from there. See if this week you can take however many times you normally text them, and you can look on your phone. You can look back and say, oh, geez, okay, how many times I text them? Maybe you text them 8 times this week. See if you can cut it back to 4 times. So if you're not sure about going no contact, maybe you're really uncomfortable with that, start with just half of the amount of contact that you normally do this week. And then the following week, start with half of that. See if you can go half of that. And then the following, the week after that, the 4th week, you should really be almost like not contact. And so going back to that movie that somebody posted called The Price of Family on Netflix. One of the things that happened in that movie is there was a point where the parents stopped texting the daughter and the son. They stopped texting. They didn't go no contact, but they just stopped reaching out. And the kids were wondering, what was going on with mom and dad? Why aren't they contacting us? It made them think about things. It made them think about the parents, like, wow, I haven't heard from mom or dad in a while. What's going on? And we're not, the point of going less contact and less contact and less contact and less contact is not necessary. That's not manipulative. It's not to make them start wondering. It is to let them have the space they need. They don't know what they need. They don't know how much space they need. All they know is mom or dad is grabbing, reaching, grabbing, reaching, grabbing. To them, that's what they see. They see, can't they leave us alone? Why are they calling again? Why do they keep texting? Don't they know I'm working? Don't they know I'm trying to put the kids to bed? Don't they know blah, blah, blah? That's their viewpoints. That's not, I'm not saying that anyone is a terrible parent at all. But their viewpoint is that we're reaching and we're grasping and we're trying and we're chasing and we're blah, 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 blah. And can't we figure it out? So when you start going less contact, and then you go less contact, and then you go less contact, you're actually giving them what they want. Or what they think they want. Right? So we've all had days where we're like, you know what? I don't want to talk to anyone today. And if somebody calls, we might look at the phone and go, I'm not going to listen. I'm not going to talk to somebody right now. Because we just don't feel like it. And that's okay. It's our right not to either. So, and I am not defending them at all. I'm just trying to relate it to you as how they might see it. And that we all have times where we just can't take another phone call. Or we just can't look at another text or another message or another email. And we're just like, I've had it up to here. I got to rest. I'm done. And we might even put our phone away to the side. It's just say, I can't right now. So that's not an abnormal thing, because we all, as humans, we go through that because technology is very invasive. Okay, so red light, green light, yellow light. Practicing with the people who you love and who love you enjoy. And going half contact this week. See what happens. If you are already no contact at all, and you don't ever try to reach them, now start texting somebody else a friend who you'd like to develop a closer relationship with. Text someone at work, or send an email to a relative that you love and tell them how glad you are that they're in your life. So if you're still trying to contact, see if you can go half. If you have no contact at all with those people that you really want to have contact with, then start reaching out to other people. See if you can send like 1 or 2 messages or emails to the people that you love and that to tell them how glad you are that they're in your life. Okay? All right, I gotta go tell people about Jesus. Well, not tell them, but teaching the little kids about Jesus and his unconditional love. And that's the only unconditional love there is. There's no conditions. But we humans, we put all these conditions. Parents, no. Parents, there's not unconditional love with parenting. That's not how it works. You can have awful parents whose kids turn out great, and you can have great parents whose kids turn out awful. There is no predictability with that. We can give them all the things in the world. There's no guarantees. You know this. So, anyway, guys, love you. Happy hump day. And